Alright, yesterday went well. Sorry I didn't video. Did a bunch of the stuff that is kind of scary to do, but I got the new cam bearings all set, new cam installed. Turns really nice. So all the bearings are centered. Put all the lube all over it. I did notice that, well, I was going to install all the main bearings here, but the ones I got apparently are wrong. There's a difference between, I guess, different years of Jeep 4.0s that I was unaware of. But anyway, these are the bearings that I got, and I'll just grab this one. You can see that the little alignment tab there on the right. So this would go in the number 3 because that's where the thrust bearing goes. So 1, 2, 3. So this is thrust bearing. You can see that the alignment tab is on the right, whereas all of my alignment tabs are all directly in the center. So I'm hoping that the bearings that I just spent a bunch of money on to get here today are correct. Actually, let me check real quick. I think these are a better quality because they're mall. So hopefully that's equals better. They were definitely more expensive. Those bearings were like $40 and these bearings were like $120, I think. So kind of a lot, but you know, it's the price you pay for not knowing what you're ordering. So let's see. So this is what got me the wrong bearings last time as I went off of this. So it says Jeep Chrysler 4.0 4-liter engines. So hopefully these are right. I'm gonna be really annoyed if they're not. So these are the top because there's no alignment pin or oil. Well, actually, technically that's the bottom. Engine's upside down right now. So please be in the middle alignment pin. It is. Sweet. All the alignment pins are right in the middle. Perfect. So very happy about that. That's good. It's good news. Cool. So I got the right ones this time. Let's see. Just for fun, I'm gonna put one on there. So do it like that. Awesome. And that's gonna snap right in. So they're pretty tight. You gotta kind of roll them basically in there, and then you just push them in. So I'm gonna wear gloves so when I'm touching this stuff I don't get everything dirty. I'm also gonna do one more wipe down just because it was sitting overnight. Let's get all the dust out. Put that back in there. But these ones are packaged a lot better than these ones were. These ones came with the bag loose like this, which I'm sure if I looked close enough, I'm sure some of these would have some marks on them just from the other bearings touching. But anyway, so cam's in. I got the head built, new valve seals all in there, all the keepers are in, and then the biggest scariest part was I got all the pistons on the new, well, the old rods put on the new pistons. So that went as it always does, nice and scary. You got to press fit those on there. So but I got them all on, and they all move nice and free, so that's good. And then all the orientations are all correct. So yeah, that's a thing. If you ever have to do that, that's scary. So yep, so I got all that. So I think today I'll be able to get main bearings in, rear main seal in first before you do all that, otherwise you have to pull the whole thing back out. So rear main seal, all the bearings. Crank will sit and get the crank caps on, torqued down and tightened, and then I can start putting pistons in. I gotta build the pistons still. You gotta put all the rings on, but that doesn't take very long. And then the only thing I'm waiting on is an oil pump because I wasn't gonna reuse that one. So oil pump still coming. I got polyurethane engine mounts and trans mounts, which I know are much louder apparently, but you know what, it's a Jeep and I'd rather do have to worry about less and just deal with a little bit of noise, so that should be good. But yeah, I was excited. The cam went in nice. The cam bearings went in pretty nice. Messed one of them up, but not bad enough to wait for a round of shipping. I just cleaned up an edge that I didn't get my tool tight enough, and I smacked it in, and it just made a little mark on the side. I don't think the actual cam race actually sits on it, but I think it hangs out past that. So I think I can get most of it done. I don't think I'm gonna put my lifters and head on, just because I don't want to pre-lube all the lifters and everything and then have it flipped over with no oil pan or anything, and then all the oil that I put into the lifters would probably drain out by the time I got the oil pump. So I think we're gonna wait on that, and I'll just do, when I get my oil pump, I'll put my oil pan on, and then lifters, and then cylinder head, and then push rods and all that stuff. So but today I am definitely planning on getting all these bad boys put in with my crank, so I can stop wiping everything down and trying to get all the flash rust off everything. So, but yeah, I'll video putting all this stuff in. So thanks for watching. Alright, so we're going to be assembling the piston here, just all the rings on here. So this is the mall kit. So first things first, you do your oil control ring. This is just allows oil to flow onto the piston and then back into the holes. So all you're going to do is, I always make sure it's at the top. Let me make sure, just read the instructions here. Three-piece oil rings are not directional, blah, blah, blah. The expander must butt together is all that it says. But I've always learned that you always make sure that the gaps are, make sure that the gaps are up, or the gaps are up like that, so that as there's pressure it pushes down and it becomes flatter, whereas this way has the possibility of spreading, right? So I always do it that way. Apparently it doesn't matter though. But yeah, all you're gonna do is just gonna start, and don't be too rough with it. Make sure it goes in. So you do that, and then take your two rings here. They're stuck together. And then all you're gonna do is kind of work it down. You're supposed to start from top to bottom, but sometimes it likes to go into the upper slot like that, like it just did, which is fine. And you just, each time you do it, you make sure it rotates. And then this one will be easier. And you just want to do it so that you're not messing up the side of the piston, scratching it up or whatever. So just be pretty nice with it. And also don't be too rough with it, and don't bend it out of shape or anything. Cool. So then once you get your two rings on there, or your three rings in there, you just make sure the whole thing kind of rotates around. Just like that. This one's not moving very free, so what's going on here? Something's not happy here, so gonna restart. If something doesn't work out, just time and take it back apart and try again, because last thing you want is this thing to not be right inside the cylinder while you're breaking it in, yeah? That bottom one feels right. I think this top one got stuck underneath the oil control ring here. It did. There we go. So we'll redo the top one. There we go. So you just wanted to move nice and free, and just start. Cool. Huh. This one is not as happy as the other ones were. It's kind of odd. Yeah, it's that top ring again. It's like the top ring's sneaking underneath somehow. Sneaking underneath the ring. There we go. Cool. And then the only other thing for this is the oil rail gap should be about 1 inch on either side of the expander gap. There we go. And then it says if the complete assembly rotates freely in the ring groove, it is correct. If not, start over. So this thing is not spinning super good. I don't know what's going on with it. I'm gonna start all over because something's happening. Doesn't like it. Okay, so that spins fine. See, that's how it should spin. And it's supposed to be 1 inch on either side of the gap here, so we'll just start now. So we'll put this one to the left and the other one to the right. Okay. It's funny that this one's not working out. I did all the other 5 and it was just fine. It's kind of funny. Let's see. So that one was to the left, so we'll do this one to the right. There we go. Oh, it's happy. Rotates free. And we're more than 1 inch that way and more than 1 inch that way, so that's fine. Cool. And then so next we'll do on here you got top groove and second groove. So you do the second groove first. So it goes 1, 2, 3. Then there's a dot on the top of this for orientation purposes. So there's a dot right there. Let's see if you can see it. Cool. And you're just gonna. You can do this without the special pliers, but run the risk of breaking the ring, which isn't super fun. Go. So there's that guy, and then the top ring. This one's also got a dot on it, which the marking of the dot always indicates that it goes up. Or always indicates top. So. So there we go. Everything rotates nice and free. Nothing, no binding or anything. So that's good. Cool. That's it. That's all you do, and then I'm sure. Let's see. Does it tell you? Anyway, when you have 2 rings, you just want it to be like 180 out of each other. So we'll do 1 ring that way and 1 ring this way, and we'll do it on the piston skirt. And there we go. So that's how they're going to go in, and we'll start assembly pretty soon, but piston assembly. Alright, I'll do main bearings next. All right, sorry I got a little carried away there. I didn't really record anything just because I just did one of these not too long ago, and I posted a bunch of videos on how to do it, and I just felt like I was just saying the same thing over again. So I just put it all back together. No real surprises other than I broke a ring putting it back on, putting one of the pistons in. The top ring broke right at the little top indicator on the ring, which is weird. I wonder if it was like just a defect from the factory or something. But anyway, so I had to wait for new rings, so those came in, put them on. I also put in a new polyurethane trans mount, and I got polyurethane engine mounts as well. Show you those. So those are pretty nice. Sorry, my lighting in here is pretty bad, but there we go. So polyurethane ones, so those will never go bad. And there's a new one on the trans too. Cleaned up pretty good. I'm gonna try to get those on probably tomorrow, and I'm gonna try really hard to get this thing in the Jeep and started tomorrow. But yeah, I got all the stuff on that I think I can get away with putting on before it goes in the engine compartment. And here just got all my other stuff, but I think I've seen some people put the intake manifold on and exhaust on before they put it in the car or in the Jeep, but I feel like that's gonna create a lot of issues right around this area here. I don't know. I should be able to get it up over that. We'll see. But yeah, sorry for not making any videos on that. If anyone really wants to see it, there's one. I made one not too long ago. You can find it on my channel. That went over all the stuff that I didn't go over when I did this. But I assure you, it's all put together, and we will hopefully be firing this thing up tomorrow evening, most likely. But yeah, so thanks for watching.